preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Ben 10 and Danny Phantom series premiere reviews, plus Avatar The Last Airbender episode 1 and 2 reviews. Jay Hebert's Side of Things episode 5, James Hebert's Hodgepodge of Nonsense. Shared Experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. Retro Wrestling Review Series Summer Shows, All-In Hype and All-Out Hype. The Wrestling Rundown and ATW View crossover, available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video. If Goldberg stayed in WWE in 2004, Zero Entertainment presents the CAW Grizzly Tournament. All of a Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Simple Bracketology season premiere covering the G1 Climax 33. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indie Force episode 27, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. FTW watch parties for the go-home weeks of All In and All Out, plus pay-per-view coverage. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D-18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting, episode 3 coming soon. La Strada 1954 watch-along, available on demand. WYW intro and Immortal stream. Wrestling with Idiocy episode 8, fast food and restaurants discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dori Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D-18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to this happy hour version of Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dori Lou, best known as Stat Girl. The reason we're starting early, we've got some things to do later on today, a little bit of production changes. Everything worked out beautifully. We're here to give you all the news and all the sports. And James is in the control room. Big thank you to James for stepping up and helping us out today. Lots to do. Of course, he can pop in anytime he wants if on any sports topic that he thinks. Also, if you're in the comments, drop your comments. Let us know what you want to say. Super chat, super chat, super chat. Big thank you again to everybody in the multiverse of media for all the fun shenanigans that would happen late Saturday night into Sunday morning with karaoke. Wow. I don't think I'm ever going to see another event like that. That was just wild.
It was great.
Karaoke.
Yeah, it was British themed artists. The control room would spin a wheel and whoever was up would have to choose a song from that artist and do a short a cappella performance. We had a lot of fun. There's another one coming up in November with a different theme. Hey, Aaron, thanks for tuning in. So we'll keep you updated.
Indeed, we do. We start off our news reports in the world of golf. The second phase of the FedEx Cup tournament took place this weekend. The BMW Championship in Olympia Fields, Illinois. Winner Viktor Hovland. He won his fifth career title and his second title this year with a score of 17 under par. He qualifies for the Ryder Cup and is going to play in the PGA Championship next week. This one is the big one next week. 30 players have qualified for the FedEx Cup Championship, and they each get a starting score based on their rankings. The names you'll see there, if you've been watching all season, most of them are in the top 10, but Scotty Scheffler, being the number one ranked player, gets a 10 under par starting score. He has a huge advantage. Viktor Hovland is right behind him in second place. He starts 8 under par. Rory McIlroy is at 7 under par. John Ram is 6 under par. Lucas Glover, who won the first tournament of the FedEx Championship is at 5 under par. The remaining players, Max Homa all the way down to Matt Fitzpatrick, they start at 4 under par. Tommy Fleetwood down to Xander Schauffele is at 3 under par. Tom Kim all the way down to Si Woo Kim is at 2 under par. Taylor Moore down to Jason Day is at 1 under par. And the final grouping, Sam Burke, Emilio Grillo, Tyrell Hatton, Jordan Spieth, and Seb Streka are at even par. They play 4 rounds, standard golf rules. The winner with the lowest score is the FedEx Cup champion, and that will put an end to the season. There'll be one big game, the Ryder Cup, in a couple weeks after that. Hello, Tim Davis. Thank you for coming into the sports bar. I hope you're having a great day. Let's see what the ladies had to do in their golf tournament.
So the ISPS Handa World Invitational, Ballymena and Castle Rock, Northern Ireland. Your winner was Alexa Pano. And let's see. Oh, it was her birthday. So this was an awesome, she got the greatest birthday present ever. First win on the LPGA Tour. Scored a 66 in her final round to force a playoff against Gabriella Cowley of England and Esther Heinsliet of Germany in a 3-hole playoff, and she won. And I mean that's an awesome birthday present.
Indeed.
You can ask for more.
It's
or
a
I don't.
your birthday.
Yeah. So this is your current top 10 for the ladies. Celine Boutier of France did not play. Her last game was match was the AIG Women's Open. Lilia Vu of the U.S. also was, her last one was the AIG Women's Open. Wow, did any of our women play? None of our top 8 played.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
None of our top 8 played, so there's been no change in the rankings. We've got Runyan Yin, Hayu Zhou Kim, Allison Corpus, Jin Young Ko, Akya Furu, and Nelly Korda. None of them played in the women's since the AIG Women's Open. However, number 9, Charlie Hull of England, tied 16th with Leona Maguire of Ireland, who replaced Miss Henderson in
Brooke
the
Ann
IS.
Henderson of Canada.
There we go.
So
There's your top 10 ladies.
In golf. Tennis, anyone? Coming up next. The men and the women played in the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati, Ohio. And the men's final, it featured a rematch from Wimbledon. The number 1 player, Carlos Alcaraz, took on the number 2 player, Novak Djokovic. These two are getting the tennis rivalry together. Nope, not that one. The other one.
I think I'm missing that graphic. That's
I
the
know,
one.
I know
That's
I'm
the one
saying
we
it.
were missing.
But
Damn
that's
it.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
It's all right. It happens. So they battled back and forth, and in the end, Djokovic won. He won his 4th matchup against Alcaraz, his 95th career title, and they're already planning on setting up a 5th matchup at the U.S. Open that's coming up. Now, what happened earlier in the tournament is a little, sometimes in tennis, you get distractions, you get champagne bottles, you get fans that want to throw out wedding proposals to the ladies. But this has happened to Djokovic twice. Fireworks. Dori, you know well about Kings Island. You've been there before, right?
Yes, I've been there before. Unfortunately, I missed their fireworks show, but basically they're across where Kings Island is and where this tennis tournament was being held are essentially on the opposite sides of the freeway from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think they need to figure out scheduling a little bit better in the tennis world, so they don't have to contend with distracting fireworks, making you lose your concentration or whatnot. Or maybe the tennis players need to work on their concentration and focus a little bit more. There you go. You found it.
There it is.
As
So
you can see on that map there, they're pretty much right across the freeway from each other.
the 70, I believe it is. And I was watching the match, the semifinal match the night before. And basically it's like the final set after this break. They go to commercial, they come back, they're in Cincinnati. Kings Island is in Cincinnati, so they did a live shot. Then literally, and this was at the 10 o'clock hour, and Kings Island does a fireworks show and drones, just like at my job. Copycats. And so, the crowd is, you can hear them, you can hear the booms and the crashes, and the commentators are saying, oh, that's from Kings Island. You would think the people at Kings Island or the tennis promoters would schedule things better. Djokovic is looking at the referee like, what do I do? And I think even the referee said, play on. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about fireworks. And, he's getting ready to serve. Kaboom. The crowd's going, ooh, and all that. And this happened before. This happened 4 years ago in 2018. Aaron says it could be a climactic end. Well, yeah, but they have their own fireworks in the tennis center. They did shoot off some streamers, but it was just a little thing, Luckily, it happens. It happens, really. It's great to see things like that happen. Even in the golf world, there is a video on YouTube where, photographers' cameras can cause a distraction. Wild animals, cell phones, air horns. Oh God, why did I mention air horns? Dori, if you know, you know.
Favorite.
Bees, trucks passing on the highway. That's a thing.
There's any kind of unexpected noise in general is considered a distraction, not just in tennis, but in golf as well.
Tiger Woods, he's getting ready to swing. Click, 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 click. Come on, guys.
So those distractions can really, break your concentration. And I will admit that as a former competitive diver in high school, that's a real thing.
I can see
as
that.
Much as, yeah,
here's the scenario. You're up there. You're ready to dive. Dori, will you marry me?
Yeah, something like that.
Back, how much money you got?
There was kind of a competition at one point, it seemed like, with some of our other athletic teams as they were walking by to see if they could cause a distraction and make me break focus. I will tell you, it never happened.
Good.
I might hear them in like in the peripheral, but it wasn't enough for me to break focus on what I was doing.
And apparently upset the truck drivers. I'm not upset. I'm not ticking off the truck drivers, Aaron.
Oh.
Dori, what happened in women's golf?
What happened in women's golf?
Women's tennis.
You mean women's tennis?
Oh, no.
Excellent.
Seriously?
Thank you, James. Well, before I give my updates, do you want to go through your top 10 ranking?
Oh, yes. Top 10 rankings, please, by all means. There it is. Carlos Alcaraz lost in the finals to Djokovic, who was the winner. Daniil Medvedev lost in the third round. Stefanos Tsitsipas lost in the third round. Holger Rune lost in the second round. Yannick Sinner lost in the second round as well, along with Casper Ruud and Andrei Rublev. Taylor Fritz lost in the quarterfinals to Alcaraz, and Francis Tiafoe made a second round exit. Coming up, I believe in next week, starts the U.S. Open.
All right, now we'll go on to the ladies. We had a few things going on. So we had the Golden State Open in Stanford, California. Fortunately, that was all before that. Was it still a hurricane or was it a tropical storm by the time it hit?
It was a tropical storm.
I just know there was a lot of rain and a lot of flooding. Checked on family and friends who were out there, and they were all safe. So our winner was Yafeng Wang, and this was her second career title win, her first one for the 2023 year. At the Barranquilla Open in Barranquilla, Colombia, your winner was Tatjana Maria. This is her fourth career title, her second this year. Yes, a hurricane. Yes, I know. There was a, they had the 5.5 in high while they were dealing with this tropical storm.
I'm actually the weather guy here, so it's great that I'm actually producing. Yeah, so it was really bad. Like they had, specifically, I think Al-Hai got hit really hard by that entire weather phenomena. So yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, along with that quake, which the last report I saw said there was no injuries, no major damage, lots of aftershocks though, but
yeah,
we're glad everybody's okay.
Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Western and Southern Opens in Cincinnati, Ohio. Your winner was Coco Gauff. This is her fifth career title win and her third for this year. She's I'm surprised she's not higher seeded for women's tennis, but we'll get there. So your first place still is Iga Swiatek from Poland. She lost in the semifinals to Coco Gauff in the Western Southern. I'm presuming that's what that means there, Mikey?
Yes.
All right. Your second woman is Arina Sabalenka from Belarus. She lost in the semifinals. Jessica Pegula is still third from the USA. She lost in the third round. Elena Rybakina from Kazakhstan lost in the third round.
She actually retired.
Okay, she has officially retired. Awesome. Well,
retired in the match, not overall.
Oh, retired in the match. Gotcha. Okay. Ons Jabeur from
Tunisia.
Tunisia. I was going to say, I always screw this one up. She lost in the quarterfinals to Arina Sabalenka. Carolina Garcia of France lost in the second round. Coco Gauff was your winner, of course. Number 8 was Maria Sakkari from Greece. She lost in the third round. Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah, it happens.
Petra Kvitova lost in the second round, and Markita Vondrousova lost in the quarterfinals to Iga Swiatek. And those are your top 10 ladies. There hasn't been any changes there, but it's nice to see that they all competed.
Indeed. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to let you know what's going on from the Renegade with his exclusive content. And when we come back, we're going to make a left turn and drive into the playoffs for NASCAR. Stay tuned.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, your Casa D-18 Studios membership is only $5 a month, And if you subscribe today, you get matches such as, or I think I screwed that up. Hold on. That's, whoops. I tried, but yeah.
You're doing fine, James. You're doing great. It's
I'm doing
okay.
great. I know. I'm trying. You guys can check out the members only section. There are votes right now counting. Chris Benoit and Randy Orton from SummerSlam 2004 is available right now, I believe, for a retro call. If it's not available right now, as far as I know, it will be available soon. So be on the lookout because that's the match they will be doing a retro call for.
Indeed. All right. NASCAR time. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. The last race that took place was the Go Bowling at the Glen in New York. William Byron of Hendricks Motorsports, driving the Chevrolet number 24, took the win, followed by Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, both driving Toyotas for Joe Gibbs. The remaining top 10 went to AJ Allmendinger, number 16, who drives a Chevrolet for Colleague Racing, followed by Ty Gibbs, number 54, and his partner, number 19, Martin Truex Jr., both driving Toyotas for Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs Racing did very well this race. Number 17.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, we know you're an RCR girl. Number 17, Chris Boucher, took the next spot in the Ford for RFK. Tyler Reddick, number 45 for 23XI Racing, driving a Toyota. Ryan Blaney, number 12, and his teammate Joey Logano, number 22, in the Ford for Team Penske. So what does this mean for the playoffs? Not much yet, but there is one race left, and it's going to be the Coke Zero 400 coming up this weekend. This will solidify the playoff standings. The 16 drivers that qualify move on. They do 4 races. Then it gets chopped down to 12. Then it gets chopped down to 8. And then it all comes down to the final race in Arizona, in Phoenix. The racer of that core group of 4 is named NASCAR Cup champion.
That doesn't surprise me, all those names that are in the top standings, by the way. Like, I feel like that's every year that somehow those guys are in the top 5 every time, top 10.
Pretty much.
I recognize every single one of them.
Pretty much.
Good race, though. Love road course racing. It's great.
Yeah. Road courses are pretty, can get pretty intense.
I love it.
And Dori, you had a story about XI Racing?
23, 23XI. So
I have no idea about this one. So
apparently,
Go ahead.
Denny Hamlin has just been making all kinds of jibes at Michael McDowell, or had been on social media.
that explains it. Go ahead.
Well,
yeah, Danny. That's Danny.
So Denny is a co-owner with Michael Jordan for 23XI Racing.
All right.
And back on August 13th, Michael McDowell basically put Denny Hamlin in his place, more or less, with his win of it at Indianapolis 500, because essentially he knocked the number 23 car out of the owners playoff series. So in NASCAR, you have the owners playoffs as well as the drivers playoffs, but it's the same. It's the owners with the majority of points have a playoff. I don't have a breakdown further than that, but it's similar to the drivers playoffs in how they it's point based on who goes there.
Gotcha.
So with Michael McDowell's win at Indianapolis back on August 13th, it knocks the number 23 out of the owners playoffs. However, the Bubba Wallace, who's the driver of the number 23, is still eligible for the driver playoffs.
Right. Is this terrific or no?
And so you know what? You wanna put those barbs out there and talk crap and stuff, sooner or later somebody's going to say put up or shut up.
Exactly.
And there you go. Michael McDowell had enough and put Denny Hamlin in his place with his win.
There you go.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to the Xfinity Series. Oh, there's the standings there. Martin Truex Jr. leads with 861 points, followed by Denny Hamlin at 822. William Byron's at 785. Christopher Bell is at 752. Kyle Larson at 721. Brad Keselowski is on the bubble. He has not locked in his spot yet. He can at the end of this race. Chris Boucher at 695. Ross Chastain is also at 695. Ryan Blaney at 694. Kevin Harvick has not locked in his spot yet, even though he's at 693. There's just something about the numbers that, right now, if the playoffs were to take place, they should lock him in. But there's just something. They're thinking the worst, I guess.
Yeah, they're always doomsday thinkers. They have been for a while.
So when I was reading more on the drivers' playoffs and how the points are scored, if a driver wins, let's say, I'll go ahead and go with Kevin Harvick.
Right.
If he wins the first stage, the second stage, and the race, that's 60 points. So there are drivers in the 17th position down that can still get in this last race.
Right.
That's why those ones are not locked in yet.
Gotcha.
So Kyle Busch representing RCR, he's in. I guess it's a bit of a turnaround. It's his first year with RCR. He's locked into the playoffs. Tyler Reddick follows up with Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace is not locked in yet. Ricky Stenhouse is, and Ty Gibbs as well. So keep an eye on that race this weekend. And then we go to the playoffs. All right, Xfinity Series. The Shriner Children's 200 at the Glen. Go ahead, Dori Lou.
So your winner was Sam Mayer in the number 1 Chevy for JR Motorsports. For those who don't know JR Motorsports, this is I can't believe I blanked on his name. Earnhardt Jr.'s racing team.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Your second place was Sheldon Creed, the number 2 Chevy for Richard Childress Racing, or RCR as Mike referred to. Parker Kligerman took third in his 48 Chevy for Big Machine Racing. Then we've got Ross Chastain. He is a part-time driver in Xfinity. He drives actually, he filled in at the number 21 Chevy for DGM Racing. DGM has a lot of part-time drivers. So you might see a different driver in that car each week or each race. Next, you had Connor Mosack in the number 24 Chevy for Junior Motorsports. Number 20, John Hunter Nemechek, Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing. Cole Custer in the double aught for Ford Stewart Haas, in his Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. And the number 16 Chevy of Chandler Smith for Colleague Racing. The number 17 Chevy of Alex Bowman for Hendrick Motorsports, which I'm surprised you could not find a graphic for his.
It wasn't on the NASCAR page.
And then the number 27 Chevy for Jeb Burton for Jordan Anderson Racing.
This is why I say Chevy on the streets or Chevy on the track, Ford's on the streets. Chevy dominated this race.
Yes, they did. But if you look back, if I remember correctly, Ford dominated the Cup race.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Hey, it goes back.
Actually, it looked like Toyota did.
Toyota has been crushing the competition for a while.
Yeah, Toyota actually had 5 in the top 10 this past week for the Cup Series.
Yeah, they've been taking where Pontiac was back during the Winston Cup, Nextel Cup era, like when Pontiac
was cool.
That was like they're basically the new Pontiac. Like they just have been dominating like I want to say like the last decade and a half in the Cup Series. So
they've definitely been making their presence known. I still don't know how I really feel about Toyotas on the track. For a long time, it was like, no, it's Ford and Chevy. It's Ford and Chevy. I miss the Dodges, but it's Ford
I do
and Chevy.
too. I do too. I wish the Dodgers would come back. Is there rumors still, Statboy, about Dodgers coming back?
I don't want to see a Dodge anywhere near a track.
That's fair.
Maybe in the Craftsman's Truck Series, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's where they belong. I mean,
yeah, that's
Oh,
fair.
well, I don't know about that. My first car was a Dodge.
but that's on the streets. On the track, I don't see a Dodge winning a race.
You don't see a Dodge Charger on the track?
No, I really don't.
I actually could see a Charger. I could see a Charger, but
Yeah,
that might be the only. That might be the only one that I could see. Like, I miss Dodge in general. I miss when there was actually 4 and not just like 3. So I don't know. I'm
right.
weird like
Yeah,
that. I'm an even boy.
it would kind of be nice to see Mopar make it come back to racing.
That's true. I would agree with that.
All right. So your playoff contention right now for the Xfinity Series starts with number 1, the 21 Chevy of Austin Hill, followed by the number 20 Toyota of John Henry Nemechek.
John Hunter
Nemechek. You know what? I have that written down somewhere too. The number 7 Chevy of Justin Allgaier, the double odd of Cole Custer, number 1 Chevy of Sam Mayer, number 8 Chevy of Josh Berry, number 16 Chevy of Chandler Smith. See, now here's where Chevy's dominating in Xfinity.
Yep.
The number 11 Chevy of Daniel Hemrick, the number 2 Chevy of Sheldon Creed, the number 98 Ford of Riley Herbst, the number 48 Chevy of Parker Kligerman, and the number 18 Toyota of Sammy Smith. They do still have 3 races coming up. The first one this week, the 25th at Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola Daytona. And then then they'll be in Darlington and then back to Kansas to finish out their series before the championship runs.
There you go.
And we do have some news from the Craftsman Truck Series.
Ooh-wee. All right. So for the Craftsman Truck Series, they have this past week suspended 3 drivers. These drivers are suspended indefinitely. They broke some rules. And it is the NASCAR rulebook section 4.4D, where each of these drivers was charged with or have a conviction of some significant criminal violation. If you
out of personal respect, we will not be disclosing that information.
If you want more information, you can go look at whatever search engine you use, and you can get all that information yourself. But yes, as Mikey said, out of respect, we're not disclosing any of those issues. Just know that they've been indefinitely suspended, and we'll see what happens.
I will say, Joel, you can tell he screwed up somehow. I mean, look at that mugshot. It's great. It's crazy.
I tried to pull all the images off of public domain, and that was the public domain image I was able to get.
It does look like a mugshot. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh at that. I don't want to laugh at his problems and his issues, but dang.
Yeah, well, I was trying to find one for him similar to Chris Hacker and Jason White, something showing them in their NASCAR gear kind of thing, or some kind of, but that's what I was able to find.
This also brings up the point, which I get that they are people in the public. I get they are athletes, sports stars, call them what you will. If they make a mistake that severe, then yes, they should be punished. Obviously, the law, justice, whatever you want to call it, that's going to run its course. To take away their potential source of income as a job, however, that's where I can see the delicate balance. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if a fight breaks out between players, fines are going to be involved. But to go all that one to almost cancel them, you've gone way beyond that. Especially one of the three did put out a statement. They did humble themselves. They apologized. They said they said what they did was wrong. They're going to remedy this, and we know that's a Band-Aid. That's not going to totally fix everything, but it's a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
Dori Lou teaches us to be positive. You mess up, you admit it, you make your mistakes, you fix those mistakes, you come back and you do better.
Yeah.
Well, not all mistakes you make your amends.
True.
Right.
Yes. Some
move
mistakes
forward.
are unforgivable. Absolutely.
So we don't have any stats right now for the Craftsman Truck Series because they did not race this past weekend. Their next race is going to be Sunday, August 27th, the Milwaukee Mile.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
So before we get to the, since I'm on screen anyway, I might as well pitch to the next ad. Might as well.
Yeah,
Before we continue with the rest of the Step Boy Sports Bar presentation, we're going to run an ad for our buddy Big Baller G from No DQ. He's got a little thing coming up for Parker Kane Promotions, and we're going to be running that trailer now.
Hello, pals. Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's Sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
Indeed you can. All right, up next, Women's World Cup Soccer. The tournament is over. We have a winner, and it is España. Spain defeated England, and all it took was one goal, which I think has been the biggest motto in the entire Women's World Cup tournament. All it takes is one goal to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at your prior scores coming into this.
Oh yeah, in the group stage, even as that, there were zeros completely. In the third place matchup, the host country Australia lost to Sweden. Sweden takes home the bronze. England takes home the silver. Spain wins their first World Cup. And what the women get, they have their other little trophies and little performance awards that every World Cup, they give their MVP award. They call it the Golden Boot. It goes to the player who does the best. And that player this year was, if we have that graphic ready. If not, I have a backup, which I'm getting now. Excuse me, not the Golden Boot, the Golden Ball. And it went to, I'm going to butcher her name, Atiana Bonmati of Spain. Best overall player in the entire tournament, kind of like the MVP. They also give out the Golden Boot. The Golden Boot is given to the player that scores the most goals, and that went to Hinata Miyazawa of Japan. She scored 5 goals over the course of the entire tournament. And lastly, the Golden Glove goes to the top goalkeeper, and that was Mary Earps of England. I do believe that the next time World Cup soccer in general, I think it's coming up in a couple of years. I think it follows almost like the Olympics. The men go and then the women. So we're not going to get any good world soccer matches. I have to look at the schedule. But felicidades, España. Congratulations, Spain, your first World Cup.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. Up next, let's go with WNBA. If we can bring up that graphic.
All right. So we're just going to run down what the current rankings are. Your Las Vegas Aces have clinched a couple weeks ago their spot for the finals with 28-4, followed by the New York Liberty, who are just recently clinched 25-7. The Connecticut Sun clinched what? Saturday night?
Yep.
22-10. Next up, we've got the Dallas Wings that are 18-14. Your Atlanta Dream are a perfect 0.5 at 16-16. Washington Mystics are 15-17 with 81 points per game. The Minnesota Lynx are also 15-17 at 79.4 points per game. However, Minnesota currently has a higher seeding than Washington. Followed by that is the Los Angeles Sparks, who are 12-18. Your Chicago Sky are 12-20. Seattle Storm are 10-21, followed by the Phoenix Mercury at 9-23, and the Indiana Fever are 9-24. Again, this is a 40-game season, and we'll see what's coming up next.
Indeed. Playoffs should be starting within 2 weeks. America's pastime. Let's talk about baseball. See how everyone's doing in that. We still have a number one team, the Atlanta Braves. They have reached the 80-win mark with about 40 games to go. They are 80-44. The Orioles are right behind them at 77-47. Dodger Blues, 76-47. Tampa Bay, 75-51. Texas, 72-53. And thanks to them for going last night into 11 innings against Arizona, because, man, I was waiting for that game to end and so I could get the graphic ready. It's like, will somebody score? And they finally did. They ended up winning 4-3. Texas at 72-53. Houston 71-55. Seattle 70-55. Toronto 69-56. Philadelphia and Milwaukee are tied 68-57. Philadelphia has a 55-run lead over the Brewers. Boston 66-59. The Cubs are 65-59. Dori's Minnesota Twins are tied with the San Francisco Giants at 65-60. They hold a 12-run lead. Arizona is 65-61. Cincinnati is 64-61. Miami is 64-62. The Angels are starting to slip a little bit, and the free agency buzz is kicking in with Ohtani-san. So let's see where that works out. Yankees are 60-64. Padres are 60-66. The Guardians are 59-66. The Mets are 59-67. The Nationals and the Tigers are tied at 57-68. The Pirates are 56-69. The Cardinals are 55-71. The White Sox are 49-76. The Rockies are 48-76. The Royals are 40-87. Oakland is red because they are officially out. They can no longer make any chance for the playoff run. But let's face it, they have been in such a huge slump this season. In fact, there was a news story about Oakland that they are working with the city of Las Vegas. I believe a construction team has been hired. I'm not certain when groundbreaking is going to take place, but the move is getting closer and closer and closer, and Oakland will become Las Vegas within 3 years.
Yeah, that's sad. They're actually taking down the Tropicana.
No!
Yep.
I think that was where we were at the Flamingo when I hit that one back-to-back jackpot on that one slot machine that got us $300.
Yeah.
that one day. I remember. Oh yeah, not the
Yeah.
Tropicana.
Yeah, but the Tropicana is one of the few remaining classic casino hotels. And from it apparently needs a lot of renovations and updating. So with this coming on, it's just going to go bye-bye, and we're going to have a baseball stadium. Now, also in baseball, just to give you your division rankings, American League Central is my beautiful Minnesota Twins.
Woohoo!
The AL East is Baltimore. The AL West is the Texas Rangers.
Howdy.
For the National League in the East, you got the Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
NL Central is the Milwaukee Brewers.
Perfect for the sports bar, a brew.
And in the NL West is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodger Blue.
Dodger Blue.
No love for the Dodger Blue.
Dodger
I
Blue.
love LA.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
And I know our absent producers this week are, well, one of them is actually a Dodgers fan, so he should be happy with that.
Oh yeah, the whole family is Dodger Blue there. All right, we're going to take another break. We have another ad to talk about. It's about who's it? Oh, it's about the Renegade. Let's take a look at that. And when we come back, it's time for the meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar, NFL football.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to the Renegade JJ Williams. I hope he is having a good birthday out with the family. You could tune in to Renegade's Reviews, where he has his movie reviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You also could check out tonight on the Casa D-18 Studios and on the Jeff Beacham Network Multiverse of Media, NXT Heatwave. We'll be doing a watch-along of that, and there will be a watch-along trailer to kind of close out the show of what's coming up for that, and open mic night in the coming months. So there you go. Have a good birthday, JJ. We hope you are doing well, my friend.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the Stat Boy shout out now. Again, yeah, I was going to say, it's like, boy, we're really promoting the Renegade. I wonder why, because today is his birthday. Happy birthday, bro. I love you greatly. You are the greatest brother a guy could ever have. He's always been there for me. Tough times, thick and thin. I wanted to bring up when I was first making memes and the whole meme thing kicked out. We went to a hockey game. To Staples Center. We did not go to Crypto.com Arena. We went to Staples Center, and this was before he had a car. Before we went into the driving world. And we had to take the Long Beach Transit to the Metro Blue Line, and the Metro Blue Line drops you off right there at Staples Center. And he's like, "Yo, kid, wear your Ducks gear." I'm like, "No, not gonna happen. I'm not gonna wear my Ducks gear in enemy territory." And the Kings are, when it comes to Kings and Ducks, Kings are dominant. We know this. He's like, wear your Kings gear.
team I root for.
That's right. Wear your Ducks gear. If something goes down, I got you. I said, okay. Threw on my Ducks gear. It was a nice sunny day, so we're sitting at the bus stop there on Bellflower and Del Amo. It was the 91, and we took out our cell phones and we put our sunglasses on, and we kind of just gave that mean, badass, evil sunglass look. And then he's playing on his phone. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You'll see." And the meme wrote, "This is how you get your brother to wear his Ducks gear at a Kings game." I'm like, man, come on. I couldn't find the meme, but it was a great meme. And so we went to the game that day, and I can't remember. I think the Ducks won. I don't remember. We did we broke the Cardinal rule of staying in your seat until the end, and we ran off. We had to catch the train back into Long Beach. And the only little bitty drama was this little girl, probably no more than 5 years old. She saw my Ducks gear. She looks at me. She goes, "The Ducks suck." And I'm like, "Ooh, do I say it? You're 5 years old." And I think Renegade gave me a look. He's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." Anyway, again, I hope you have a great day. I love you greatly. My brother from another mother. Have a great day. I love you.
JJ, I just want to say happy birthday to you, because that's the only way I know how to say it anymore.
That's right.
All right. So we missed I have a couple of real quick baseball stories. So we're going to jump back to baseball for just a moment before we head into the NFL. And the first one involves a Phillies player. He did 2 homers in the same inning against the same pitcher. Trey Turner did this on August 19th. He's the first Phillies player in more than 38 years to homer twice in the same inning. And it was just, where is it?
My first question would be, why didn't the manager pull him after that first home run?
Right?
That'd be my. I mean, it's a rare occurrence in baseball when your lineup goes all the way in a full rotation.
And this was in the 8th inning. So Turner is only the 3rd player, and I'm reading this off of MLB.com.
Mm-hmm.
Turner is only the 3rd player in franchise history to homer twice in the same inning, and he is the first one to do it since Vaughn Hayes on June 11th of 85 against the Mets in the 1st inning. Andy Semenuk also did it on June 2nd, 1949 against the Reds in the 8th inning. So there you go.
It's absolutely amazing that can happen.
Yep. Only the 7th player since 1974 to do it.
What was that? What was that picture? What is that?
Oh, yeah. And that's my other thing.
Is that from the Storms?
That's from the Storms. That is Dodger Stadium.
Yikes.
That is Dodger Stadium on Sunday, Monday, after the storm went through. Yeah, basically, it looks like it's an island out in the middle now. Or
it looks like Chavez Ravine filled up.
Yeah, until that all that flood drains, Well, there's been Southern California games are being postponed from being played at home in Southern California right now because of that flooding and weather conditions. And it's not a lot of places. Palm Springs got hit really hard. So there's a lot of places where you cannot even travel to or from right now.
Wow. It's reminding me, I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch. It reminds me it looks like you have to paraglide into the stadium just to watch the game. Because that's Mother Nature.
How are they going to even play a game?
Well, they can't because the ground's too wet.
I mean, your outfielders are going to be slipping and sliding all over the place.
Oh, that's fun to them. Mike Trout did that last year. He decided to brought the tarp out during a torrential rainfall, and he just
they'll just Ross Chastain it. It's fine. I mean, they'll just go across the entire baseball field and make it like a slip and slide on the wall. It's fine. It's great.
There you go.
See, baseball is a children's game, so the players turn into kids when they want to slide down the field. Unless a giant thunderclap happens, which happened in Texas at least 6 years ago, and the players hit the ground at the same time. They did the duck and cover.
See, Step Boy, the problem is they reverted from children. They think that's fireworks, so they think that's even funner. You kidding me? It's like, where's Thor? Where you at?
Indeed it is.
All right.
Now
we'll move on to the meat and potatoes.
The meat and potatoes of Stat Boy Sports Bar, NFL football. We've got 16 games to talk about. Let's get right into it. The first game took place. The Cleveland Browns and the Philadelphia Eagles tied 18-18. And in a preseason game, the game ends. You do not go into overtime. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You just end the game. Dorian Thompson-Robinson went in his third game. He is doing quite well as a potential backup to Deshaun Watson. He went 13 of 25 for 164 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, was only sacked once. Kellen Mond went 12 of 24 for 126 yards. He has a touchdown. He did not get sacked. The Eagles, Tanner McKee, went 10 of 18 for 147 yards, one touchdown. He got sacked 3 times for a loss of 12 yards. And Marcus Mariota went 9 of 17 for 86 yards, 1 interception. He got sacked 3 times for 16 yards.
Mariota.
Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson did not play as they sat on the sidelines. Again, Dorian Thompson in his third game this season. Deshaun Watson said in a halftime interview he does want to play in next week's game. And Cade York went 3 of 4, making 2 43-yard kicks and a 37-yard kick.
Very good. Very good. Up next, we have the Bengals at the Falcons. My slides are not in order. Okay. And they also tied 13-13. Excuse me. Jake Browning went 16 of 22 for 140 yards, threw 1 interception, was sacked once for a -5 yards. Trevor Siemian was 7 for 14 for 62 yards, no touchdowns, interceptions, or sacks. Over at Atlanta, we've got Tyler Heineke, 13 for 21 for 162 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked twice for -16 yards. Desmond Ridder, 7 of 9, 80 yards, threw an interception, was not sacked. Logan
Woodside.
Thank you. Logan Woodside, 446, 58 yards, sacked twice for -9 yards. Desmond Riddle, this was his preseason debut and was about to make a game-winning drive until the penalty flag started to fly more than once as the Falcons settled for a tie. The flags flew 20 times during the game, with 13 of them against the Falcons and 7 against the other 7 were against the Bengals. Woo.
2 ties in 1 week. Amazing.
Typical Bengals.
Speak on it, James. You're allowed. All right, next slide.
What is the next slide? Because apparently I have 2 of the same thing. Is it supposed to be this?
Yeah, that's fine. The Jaguars beat the Lions 25-7. CJ Beathard went 12 of 20 for 138 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and was sacked twice. Nathan Rourke went 10 of 12 for 121 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and 1 sack. The sacks were not that bad. They were just small sacks. They weren't huge sacks. Nate Sudfield of Detroit went 9 of 18 for 80 yards, 1 touchdown, and he was picked off once, a sack for 9 yards. And Teddy Bridgewater, 5 of 11, 34 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked once for 9 yards. Very shaky during his first start of the season. He was sacked, he forced a fumble, and he was only held to 2 passing yards. Go Bridgewater.
That is, yeah. You know, Teddy, I don't know what happened. You were a Viking. I have your jersey in my storage unit. Your Vikings jersey in my storage unit. What happened?
He's getting back into his groove.
Well, I hope he finds that groove. And although the Lions are the competitor, sorry, Aaron D. Trucker, I do want to see him play his best. He was a Viking first. He will still be a Viking in my mind. I will be rooting for Teddy Bridgewater. Not necessarily the Lions, but Teddy Bridgewater.
Wait till Lions Vikings show up. I love the battle between these two, brother and sister. Sibling rivalry to a whole new level.
Right?
In fact, Aaron, come to Tennessee when the Vikings play the Lions and watch. And we'll
battle it out here at the apartment.
Yeah, we'll have a pizza party and everything. Okay, next slide. The Panthers and the Giants. Oh, this one's you, Dori. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, that's okay. Panthers at the Giants. The Giants took this one 21-19. It's not a tie. Woohoo! For the Panthers, Matt Corral went 9 for 13, 71 yards, was sacked once for a -6. Jake Luton, 2 of 7 for 41 yards. He threw a touchdown. And Bryce Young went 3 of 6 for 35 yards. He was sacked once for a -7. Over on the New York Giants side, you had Tyrod Taylor go 9 of 13 for 90 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked twice for -17. Woo! Tommy DeVito went 9 for 11 for 88 yards. No touchdowns or anything happening there. Just some good passing, it looks like. And Daniel Jones went 8 of 9 for 69 yards. He threw a touchdown, and that was about it for him. Now, Daniel Jones played like a fresh quarterback with a huge contract. In fact, he was worth every penny of his $160 million contract. His only mistake was an incomplete pass to Darren Waller, who promised to make up for his mistakes later on in the season. No, Aaron, you're not going to come to Tennessee for that? That's all right.
Maybe we'll do a watch along or something. How about the Demon Mikey? What's the story about that? I don't know. I don't know what you speak of there, bro.
Yeah, he was in Phoenix during that shit, so he got all that wonderful tropical storm moisture. There we go.
Indeed. All right, next game, please.
I believe that's.
There we go. Well,
no, I believe it's the Dolphins and the Texans.
There we go. The Dolphins beat the Texans 28-3. Skylar Thompson went 15 of 22 for 157 yards, 3 big touchdowns, was only sacked once for a loss of 14 yards. Tua time, Tua Tagovailoa, 5 of 7 for 61 yards, picked off once, but no sacks. Matt White did come in and take a snap, but he got sacked for 11 yards. Didn't make any throws or anything like that. On the Houston side, Davis Mills went 10 of 22 for 94 yards. No interceptions, no touchdowns, and no sacks. And CJ Stroud, 7 of 12 for 60 yards. Nothing, zeros across the board there. Tua made his first appearance into the preseason. Unfortunately, he was picked off. His second series of the game was better since he is now back from suffering a concussion last Christmas.
Yeah, I think there's still lots of concerns about Tua playing because of the concussions and stuff. Just from my own personal experience, because I have permanent damage from a concussion I had managed to, I ended up with permanent damage from a concussion I had gotten. So it's kind of scary. I have to be careful now of what kind of roller coasters I can ride, and because I love my roller coasters, so I can't ride them all like I used to. And it's I got to be careful about possibly hitting my head again, because even though it may not lead to another concussion, it could do more damage to what I've already done that will never heal. So it's a little bit scary. And Aaron's saying he'll be at SoFi when the Bills play the Chargers. All right, I'll be going for the Bills on that game.
Obviously.
And happy birthday to Daniel.
Daniel shares a birthday with Renegade. One more year to go, Daniel.
Happy birthday to you. Sorry, I had to do it one more time.
One more year to go, and then you're in the Big 40 club. Join the club.
Don't rush it.
All right, next game.
Our next game was
the Bills. There you go.
Yeah, they didn't do so hot though. Go ahead.
The Bills lost to the Steelers 27-15. Mitch Trubisky went 10 of 13 for 78 yards, one touchdown, sacked once for a loss of 17 yards. Mason Rudolph, 5 of 7 for 52 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked once for a loss of 10. Kenny Pickett came in, 3 of 4 for 43 yards, got a touchdown. And Tanner Morgan came in, but he got sacked for one play for a loss of 2 yards. On the Bills side, Kyle Allen went 12 of 15 for 112 yards, one touchdown, no sacks. Matt Barkley went 7 of 12 for 93 yards, picked off 3 times, and a small sack for a loss of 2 yards. And Josh Allen, which is Dori Lou's fantasy quarterback, 7 of 10 for 64 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks at all. Steelers were dominant and sloppy all in one game. They were on their way to a shutout until the fourth quarter when Buffalo scored 15 unanswered points. Damar Hamlin made his first appearance at his home stadium since the events from last season. And, of course, rookie cornerback Alex Austin had 3 more tackles under his belt from this game. Raymond has given us a story here from...
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
What's Alex Austin's position?
Cornerback.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
just wanted to come in here and say thank God Damar Hamlin is back and
yes.
He's playing. That does have to be said. I'm glad he's back on the field.
Yeah, I am glad too. And he's healthy and everything worked out okay. But again, Damar, be careful out there, please.
Indeed. Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Quan Alexander has been fined $43,709 by the NFL for an illegal use of his helmet in the team's game against the Buccaneers. That was last week's game. The amount, while glaring at first glance, is the league standard fine for a second offense. He was flagged during the game for what appears to be a form tackle on Tampa Bay running back Chase Edmonds, but it was still rather shocking to see him slapped with a fine for the play. It was noted that the NFL has continued to put an emphasis on defenders lowering the crown of their helmets on tackles, but it is hard to understand what exactly he did wrong. These types of hits with the head are emphasis. This happened in 2022. Former players such as Sean Merriman, Laguerre Duzable, and Matt Chapman, as well as media members, have been weighing in, saying that the fines pretty much cancel out their pay, helmet-to-helmet contact. My of course, the number, that is, make it an even number. Call it $45,000, or maybe even lower to $43,000. Why is it such an exact number? I have no idea, but these things happen. Helmet-to-helmet tackles are a thing, and you just don't do them. Otherwise, what's this now? Aaron? Oh yeah, Aaron turning 50. Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's going to be 50 soon or next year. And yes, I know who your nephew is, Aaron. It sounded like he said quarterback. He did not enunciate. That's why I asked him to repeat Alex's position.
Yeah. And the clip, if you find the official NFL game footage or game highlights, at about 7.5 minutes in, you actually see the tackle. He hits the tackle. He flexes. You can see his name on the back of his jersey. Excellent tackle. About 7.5 minutes in. Of course, for copyright laws, we can't show that. All right, next game.
Next game, the Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts won that one 24-17. For Chicago, Nathan Peterman, I'm dropping things, went 10 of 18 for 115 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once for -6. Tyson Badgett, I apologize if I butchered your name, 9 for 10, 76 yards, sacked once for -6. And PJ Walker only connected 1 of 4 attempts for 6 yards, and he was sacked twice for -9 yards. For Indianapolis, you had Sam Ehlinger complete 9 of 14 for 124 yards, sacked once for -11. And Gardner Minshew, 13 of 15 for 107 yards with a touchdown. Running back Jonathan Taylor has been on the physically unable to perform list after his ankle surgery, but he's also in a contract dispute with a trade request. Actually, I have an update to that.
Oh?
Yes. They are allowing Taylor, he's been given permission to seek a trade. Head coach Shane will rejoin the team next week, but gave no details on when his next practice will be. But in the meantime, he is looking for a trade. And what they said is Indy is expected to want more than San Francisco 49ers received from the Carolina Panthers for McCaffrey, which was 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round selections. They're looking at, I think they want a 1st round pick. The former I believe they're looking for a 1st round pick as a trade.
That's a touchy subject there, because usually the 1st round picks go to the worst teams, but they just want to. They don't want that prerequisite of being the worst team to earn the spot.
Right.
They want to use a player for it. I have
Yep.
no problem with that. All righty.
Yeah, they're prepared. They're ready to move on, provided they get significant compensation.
The Buccaneers beat the Jets 13-6. Kyle Trask went 20 of 28 for 218 yards, sacked twice for a loss of 11. John Wolford was perfect, 4 of 4 for 57 yards, only sacked once for a loss of 5. Tim Boyle went 13 of 24, 106 yards, picked off once but no sacks. And Zach Wilson went 9 of 13 for 70 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and no sacks. Tampa Bay head coach Todd Bowles has not made a decision who's going to start the season in week 1. He said it's going to be the day of game time. 3rd string quarterback John Wolford got injured and was taken out on a backboard after being sacked by Jalen Holmes. As he was put in the ambulance, he gave the crowd a thumbs up, did have movement in his extremities. Everything is okay as of the last known update. Also, Next week, in week 3, the news has dropped. Aaron Rodgers is going to suit up. Don't know how long he's going to play, but the Jets fans will finally get to see their quote-unquote new old quarterback. Because let's face it, he may be a new player, but he's up there in years.
Also update that John Wolford was released from the hospital after extensive testing and observations and overnight stay, and he did go home with the team.
Okay, so he's
no further updates on that. However, and one other, the Buccaneers have named Baker Mayfield as their starting quarterback.
Good luck trying to fill those shoes.
Yep.
Baker, you're no Brady. I'm done with Brady bashing. I'll start Baker bashing. I'll do it.
I know you're sick of his commercials.
I don't. You're not. I don't see the Bucs going anywhere near the playoffs this season.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Talking shit about my Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have been. Where have you been?
How dare you?
Keep in mind he is the bandwagon hopper. But Baker Mayfield, look at his track record lately.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I will give the man the benefit of the doubt. I will give the team the benefit of the doubt. And we'll see what happens. Preseason doesn't count worth nothing other than them figuring out who's actually going to be their starters for the season. Next game. I have the Patriots at the Packers. The Patriots won 21-17. For New England, Bailey Zapp went 10 of 22 for 117 yards with a single touchdown. Mac Jones, 6 of 9 for 52 yards, and he was sacked twice for a total of minus 20 yards. Boy, get on your feet. Sean Clifford, 13 of 19 for 137 yards. Nothing happening there, zeros across the board. Jordan Love went 5 for 8, 84 yards with a touchdown. So another scary moment. New England cornerback Isaiah Bolden. I'm sorry, I got my players mixed up. It was Bolden that I was thinking about from the last update. Bolden was carted off the field after colliding with his teammate Calvin Munson. After the game, the Patriots announced that he had feeling in all of his extremities, and on Sunday morning he was released from the hospital. He thanked the fans. Everybody had a big thank you to the fans, all the medical personnel, the first responders, the medical personnel on the field. They actually called the game. It was a joint decision by the coaches to call the game. They did not finish. It was in the fourth quarter, but after Isaiah Bolden took that hit, they had a mutual decision to cancel the rest of the game and leave things as they were. They're also not doing joint practices. They're just doing their team practices.
Indeed. Very glad to hear that Isaiah is doing a lot better again. If you remember, I think Zach said that he's like, don't be surprised if football gets canceled with all these players getting carted off. That is, they're not going to cancel the whole season. That's an extreme thing. I get it. We constantly say that, players get injured. WWE says it in their signatures. Injuries happen at a moment's notice. They do everything they possibly can to protect themselves. I mean, without saying, the safest thing is not to play. They do not want to play that card, not at all. Luckily, thank goodness no one has died. Because if that happens, then it's really going to be a sad day in football. But just keep the positivity going, like Dori Lou teaches us, and everything should work out fine. Next game. The Titans beat the Vikings 24-16. Nick Mullins went 13 of 23 for 151 yards, no touchdowns. He was sacked twice for a loss of 22 yards. Jaron Hall went 4 of 7 for 49 yards. was sacked once. Malik Willis played the whole game for Tennessee, 10 of 17, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked twice for a loss of 14. Kirk Cousins is celebrating a birthday. He was at the stadium, but unfortunately the Titans played spoiler, and they ended up rushing for 281 yards. Julius Chestnut and Malik Willis combined for 189 yards together. Malik had 91 rushing yards as a quarterback. Also, of course, this was the game that led me on my mini rant for the week that I wanted to come home, sit down, enjoy the game on ABC. But thanks to DirecTV and Nexstar and all these
The contracts with the affiliates.
we don't have ABC out here on our DirecTV streams. So unfortunately, I did not get to sit and enjoy the game, and we'll see what happens with the Vikings. Don't count the Vikings out yet, there, Raymond. Okay, it's only
exactly. It's preseason.
And
Kirk Cousins didn't play, so
save it for week 1.
Yeah, I mean I know he's not the best quarterback in the league, but I do have some faith in him. And again, this is preseason; it doesn't count. However, Minnesota Vikings have waived the Georgia Bulldogs all-SEC kicker Jack Podlesny. I hope I said it right. He was competing with the Florida Atlantic University kicker Greg Joseph, and Greg Joseph won.
Indeed.
So, we will not see the Georgia Bulldog Podlesny playing for the Vikings. He was an undrafted free agent.
Next game. That's you, Dori Lou.
I know. Got to talk about a Denver team. Okay. The Denver Broncos.
At least it's not the Avalanche.
Yeah, we're not to hockey season yet. That's still a couple weeks away, I think.
I think so.
The Denver Broncos at the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers beat them by 1. Good job, 49ers, even though I don't root for you. You may be my youngest son's team, but hey, he's my son. I can't, dictate his teams, though. For Denver, Jarrett Stidham went 12 of 17 for 130 yards, sacked twice for -10. Russell Wilson went 3 of 6 for 24 yards with zeros across the board. And Ben DiNucci, 3 of 7 for 13 yards, 1 touchdown, and that's about it for him. Go over to San Francisco with Trey Lance, 12 of 18 for 173 yards, 1 touchdown. He threw 1 interception but did not get sacked. Sam Darnold went 11 of 14 for 109 yards, 1 touchdown. 1 interception, sacked twice for -15 yards, and Brock Purdy 4 of 5 for 65 yards, and he got sacked once for -8. Brock Purdy made his preseason debut after injuring his elbow in last year's playoff loss against Philadelphia. They're not Philly right now, right? That's basketball. Trey Lance and Sam Darnold had their version of a duel as they are still both trying to get the backup quarterback spot for Brock. And what I'm seeing right now, I think Trey Lance is going to get it just based on those stats from this past week.
I would go with Trey Lance too.
Yep. Those dang birds beat the Cowboys. Yes,
we're
they
getting
did.
to that. It's later. We're getting to that.
We're getting there. It's coming up, Raven. We'll get you.
Luckily, Jeff isn't here to talk about how bad the Cowboys did. We'll get to that one next game. We did that. What next? There we go.
Raiders and Rams.
There we go. The Raiders are 2-0 as they beat the Rams 34-17. Aiden O'Connell went 11 of 18 for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, no sacks. Brian Hoyer 12 of 22 for 144 yards, picked off once and a small sack of 4 yards. And Jimmy Garoppolo, perfect, 4 of 4, 39 yards, but no touchdowns. The Rams had Stetson Bennett go 15 of 24 for 142 yards, picked off once. And Brett Ripien also was perfect, 4 of 4, 14 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo made his preseason debut, The Raiders are 2-0. Last season, Jimmy G ended his season thanks to a foot injury, but it was made clear by Josh McDaniels that Garoppolo needs to get back into the groove for the NFL season. And going perfect in this game, that just proves it. Of course, the last time I cared about the Raiders and Rams when they were both in Los Angeles. That was the Battle of LA before the Chargers decided to come up from San Diego. And an odd thought just popped into my head. At one point, The Price is Right gave away tickets to the Raiders, the Rams, the Dodgers, and the LA football team. I believe, or maybe it was part of the. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but they would give away season tickets to Raiders and Rams games. So,
Yeah.
Random stat boy thought before we go into the next game.
Yeah, well, I have never rooted for an California overall football team.
There's not that many.
Or basketball teams. I mean, in their history, I have never rooted for any California team in any sport except hockey. And it's the Kings. Yes, Mikey and I have our hockey rivalry.
Oh yeah,
However, he wore his Kings shirt and I wore my Wild jersey to the
Predators game.
Predators game, and
that was the day we booted Tim McGraw from our playlists.
Yep. And it was actually, there was a lot of Wild jerseys there. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. I actually got some pictures with some other Wild fans. It was great.
Cowboys
all right, moving on.
Yes. Cowboys week season 3.
Well, the next game I have up here is the Cowboys at the Seahawks. Those birds beating the Cowboys. And the Cowboys do have to play the Raiders this coming weekend. The Seahawks won 22-14. For the Hawks, Drew Lock went 5 of 6 for 119 yards, zeros across the board. Holton Allers, 7 of 13 for 61 yards. He got sacked once for -5. And Geno Smith, 5 of 6 for 46 yards. He was sacked once for a -4. Over for the Cowboys, you had Will Grier. 13 of 18 for 136 yards. He got picked off once, was sacked 3 times for a total of -23. And Cooper Rush went 9 of 14 for 96 yards with 1 touchdown and was sacked once for a -10 yards. The Seahawks played some of their starters. The Cowboys did not. Prior to the game, the Seahawks held a moment of silence for the fallen player Alex Collins, who sadly passed away due to a motorcycle accident earlier in the week.
Yeah, we've been wanting to touch on that for a while. Sadly, it happened. Lost his life in a motorcycle at I believe he was only 28 years old.
Yep.
So the Seahawks honored him as well during that match up, excuse me. So
yes.
All string, second string in. Yeah. Put the first string in next game.
There you go. Got to see what happens.
Yeah.
You got one more preseason to check everything out before we go where it all starts counting.
Yep. What's next? Who dat? The Saints and the Chargers. Saints win 22-17. Jameis Winston, 13 of 21, 169 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks for a loss of 9. And Jake Hayner, 11 of 17, 118 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Easton Stick, 21 of 41, 233 yards. If this was a fantasy football game, a lot of points would have been scored there, but he got picked off twice, and he got sacked 5 times. The New Orleans defense did their job. Ironically, though, this game was going on during the rain and the earthquakes. Nothing stopped this game. They went and played. And also, tight end Jimmy Graham was taken into custody after it's reported he suffered a seizure. The police were involved as well. So he was taken into custody. He was taken to a medical facility. He is being treated. He's released. He's resting comfortably. He still has some more tests to take care of, but he is okay. 5 sacks.
So far.
Wow.
5 sacks for minus 44 yards.
New
Yep.
Orleans defense. That's got to
Yep.
be number one for the week. I mean, whew.
Right? Yeah, that's the biggest biggest number I've seen for sacks.
Indeed.
All right.
Next up.
Let's see. Next up, we've got the Ravens at the Commanders. The Commanders took this one 29-28. For the Ravens, Josh Johnson went 10 of 12 for 145 yards with 2 touchdowns, was picked off once. Anthony Brown went 6 of 10 for 40 yards, also 2 touchdowns, and picked off once. Over with the Commanders, Sam Howell went 19 of 25 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked twice. Jake Fromm, 10 of 16 for 91 yards, 1 touchdown, picked off once or sacked once. And Jacoby Brissett went 7 of 11 for 47 yards, and he got picked off once. All good streaks come to an end, and the Ravens' win streak in the preseason has. Previously, they had won 24 straight games in the preseason, and this is the first time they have lost in preseason. So that 24-win streak is now over. The Commanders won it on the last drive with a field goal.
I will say with the Commanders, can we now we're step one. They're now the Commanders. They're no longer just a football team, so that's good. Can we change the logo from the W to like I don't know, like a captain's hat or something? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you draw a commander?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I mean, is it Army? Is it Navy? Is it a soldier? Is it George Washington in the 1700s? What is your interpretation of a commander?
Yeah, maybe
you draw the president. I don't know.
Just get the Big Boss logo from Metal Gear Solid. There you go.
I'm trying to find the article real quick, and I'm not seeing it at the moment. There is a group of Native Americans that want the team name to revert back to the Redskins because they were not offended by it.
Really? Yeah, you know what? That's the thing, too. And I guess this is where I'll come in. I thought when they changed the Redskins name, it was dumb then because all these people that wanted that name canceled were like all these white people that were afraid of offending everybody. So it's like come on, like if they're saying it now, can we like go back to the Redskins?
Yeah, there it is. Native Americans fighting for a return to the Washington Redskins name.
Ah, there you go.
It's from the New York Sun.
So do we have like a full on article or?
Yeah, there's a full-on article about it. The group leading the effort to reclaim the name under which 3 Super Bowls were won. Of course, I don't get to read the full article.
Nice.
Is facing a NFL with its regular season just a few weeks away is facing a blitz from the Native American Guardians Association, which says its culture is under attack and vowing to protect, to defend it, and to save it, demanding that the new owners of the Washington franchise restore its original name, the Redskins.
I'm totally for them now. So there you go. Yep. I'm just gonna throw that up there because I agreed knowing that now. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Good one. Indeed. So usually at this point in the show, and this will happen in week 1, the power rankings will come up. Looking over quickly in the standings of this, ironically and shockingly, the number 1 team, 2-0 and 68 points, it's the Raiders. They would be the number 1 team if we were power ranking right now. The worst team being 0-2 and only scoring 19 points, if I can confirm that, the Carolina Panthers. They would be at the bottom of the list.
You mean my team's not last?
No, not. They're 0-2, but they've only scored 29 points. I'll quickly rattle these off. In the AFC East, the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Patriots are all currently 1-1. The Jets are 1-2 because of the Hall of Fame game. AFC North, the Steelers are 2-0. Ravens and Browns are 1-1. Bengals are 0-1. AFC South, Jaguars are 2-0. Texans and Colts and Titans are all 1-1. AFC West and Raiders are number 1 overall. The Chiefs and the Chargers are 1-1. The Broncos are 0-2. NFC East, the Commanders 2-0. Giants are 1-1. Eagles are 0-1 because of the tie. Dallas is 0-2. Sorry, Jeff. NFC North, the Lions are 1-1 because of their conference win. So that they would be the number 1 in the division right now. In rankings, actually it would be the Green Bay Packers. They have 53 points, so it'd be 1-1 for them. Vikings are 0-2. Again, it's only preseason. NFC South,
the Bears.
The Bears are 1-1. They would be second place. The Bears. The Bears. NFC South, the Saints are 2-0, undefeated, 48 points. The Falcons would be ahead 1-0-1 because of the tie. Buccaneers are 1-1. Carolina's 0-2. And in the NFC West, the Seahawks are 2-0, 46 points, 1-1 for the 49ers and the Cardinals, and the Rams are 0-2. These numbers will come up. We'll rank them fully at the end of the preseason. That graphic comes up next week. And with that, we end preseason week 2. We move on to week 3. A lot of the starters should be playing this week. Again, the announcement has come up that Rodgers will suit up. You'll see all your starting quarterbacks and all your starting players as we get ready for when they really count, week 1. In fantasy football, our teams are all complete. We did finish the draft. We did get everything all put together. Greg Jerry pushed the button and canceled the feed last week. An honest, simple boo-boo. Nothing serious about that. The draft was a little bit disorganized. I do apologize for that. I'll do better when we do hockey. I promise for certain. After we talk about all of the stats in sports and football, all the teams will come up, and we'll let everybody know how we're doing with that. There will be head-to-head matchups, of course. Those schedules will be made next week as well, and that will be reported in the sports bar each week. Other than that, if there's no other news that I can think of, I believe. Well, what else?
I'm thinking we skipped over something with NBA. Yes, we did.
We did. What did we skip?
FIBA.
The tournaments haven't started yet.
You're right. They haven't. Never mind.
They start next week. They start next week, and those scores will be updated with the basketball stuff.
All right. So we're going to do another quick ad for y'all on stuff that's coming up. And then we will work on closing out with my weekly positive, the weekly delight, and we will see you in a moment. Yes, I forgot we were doing karaoke coming up in October, so that ought to be interesting. So my weekly delight, as you know, I try to keep some positive out there and try to encourage everyone else to think positive as well. One of the things we see, and it's every generation deals with it. We're constantly being compared to others or comparing ourselves to others on wherever we may be in whatever journey we're on.
That.
trying to mimic someone else or be someone else. And in reality, and this is from Edwin Elliott, by being yourself, you put something wonderful in the world that was not there before. Some of us need to work on that a little bit. I remember somebody asked me one time many years ago, why am I always smiling? It's like I've had my share of difficulties. We all have. And at some point I got turned on to the positive messaging, daily positives, writing a message on my mirror until it gets stuck in my head or whatever, changing it as I needed. And it helped me to put a positive spin on life and find the positive in whatever might be happening. And my response to that person was when they asked me, why do I always have a smile? And I asked them, would you rather I'd be in a corner? No, it's better than being in the corner crying.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than being in the corner crying. I'm still growing. I am 50 years old. I'm still growing and learning every day. I try to keep a positive spin on things, even when it was like the past couple of days at work have been extraordinarily slow. But I've gotten to meet and talk with some really neat people from not in the area and get to share some stories. And that's something that's just me being me, putting myself out there, trying to make people comfortable and feel welcome wherever my workplace may be. If you're coming into my workplace, you're coming into my home away from home. I want you to feel welcome. And that's just me putting myself out there, being me. And I encourage you to be you, put yourself out there and do the same.
The Rock did the same thing in, I think the movie, don't try and be a copy of me, try and be the first one of you.
Exactly.
I know it happens in life, be it parents, jobs, teachers, sometimes they slip up and they say, look at this person, be like that person. That does not work, especially with me. It's like, I'm not that person. I'm me. I have my DNA. I have my genetic structure to be me. I cannot be that person. There is no way I want to be that person. I can try and do the same thing, but I'm going to do it in a different style.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't say hello all the time. It's hello, hi, how are you? What's new? How you been? All that good stuff. Welcome, howdy do, all that good stuff. Spice it up a little bit. And go ahead.
Frequently, when I have interactions at the end of it and somebody says thank you, I will tell them my pleasure. No, I never worked for Chick-fil-A. It was something that was pushed on me from a different employer. But even with that employer, I couldn't always say it was my pleasure because sometimes people just are not a pleasure to work with. So depending on what it is, but I would always make sure it was you're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great day. My pleasure. Whatever the situation may call for. But still, no matter how negative that person may have been or that interaction may have been, I would try to end it on a positive by telling them you're welcome or have a good day or something to that effect.
Indeed. All right. And of course, Stat Boy approved. Well done indeed. All right. As far as this episode, we are finished. We are done. Do we have any shills or upcoming things for tonight? What's going on again tonight there, James? You want to pop in and NXT Heatwave tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. It is a watch-along event, so the Meacham Multiverse of Media will be along with that. And
Yes.
the last
And
time I was at an event called Heatwave was in 23 years ago.
yes. It was a very long time ago. It will be happening again on JJ's birthday. For those who do not want to be spoiled of the happenings of NXT, for those on the Pacific Coast, you're definitely going to want to try and miss it. But if you want to watch along with JJ and with Noah Foster, who will be on the play-by-play, you can go and check that out as well. Give them the Stat Boy crew regards. On top of that, you can find your barkeeps where, everyone? Or I guess it's X now. Who cares?
It's now at, yes, you can follow me at LBStatKid1977. Facebook is my name, Mike Caldwell. Also, I am on Instagram with the IG handle StatBoy13.
You can find me on the X at Hathaway Lou. My Facebook is Dori Lou Hathaway, and my Instagram is Dori Lou.
There you go.
Drop us a line whenever you want us to talk about sports topics.
So there you go. And on top of that, I believe tonight's winners for the matches, although I think they were already announced. But I think the final winners are going to be announced tonight on Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you do not miss Talk Wrestling, the mothership, if you will. You can also check out our friends over for Statboy Sports Bar. You start with Zach if you could, Statboy.
DJ Zach. Find him on Facebook at Zach Nelson. Find him on Twitter or on X at Fluffy Madden God. And IG, DJ Bayside High.
He was hoping to pop in with us, but he has some pretty late nights, so he's probably still resting up, getting ready for tonight or whatever may be going on. But you see him with us frequently. We also have from NoDQ.com the Cleveland combatant himself, Josh Mansfield. His Twitter is at CatholicJosh122, or you can find him on the Instagram at MellowManGram.
Yeah, I real quick, apparently Josh's Twitter handle has changed, so I actually have to say what his Twitter handle is.
You know what? I remember he did say something about that. We did have an updated graphic.
Okay, so what I'll do is, because I have it here, and I'm gonna post it in JJ's little thing here. His new Twitter handle or Twitter handle name. Okay, everyone. It's at
Walking Hymnal.
Walking Hymnal. Go check him out. Go send him our regards there.
Yes, he did go to the doctor. It's just a mild throat infection. It's not COVID. It's not strep. He's fine. He'll probably be back on open mic night, annoying all of us more than me, which is an accomplishment in itself.
Yes.
By the way, thank you, JJ, and I hope you're having a wonderful birthday.
Big G, follow him on TikTok at BigBallerG1988. Follow him on the Twitter at NoDQBigBallerG. He is also on Threads and Instagram, NoDQ_BigBallerG1988. You
can check out
JJ, the Casa D-18 Studios. Find him on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, the YouTube channel Casa D-18 Studios, and on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams. Drop him a birthday note.
Yes. Say happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Say that. He doesn't need to know where it came from. But except for it's Statboy, say it's from Statboy Sports Bar. So
Indeed.
Yes. And on top of that, a little bit more plugs for JJ here. You can check out Throwback Thursdays, where you can see content from NoDQ.com, Jeff Meacham Network, Casa D-18 Studios, The Simple Man's Brand, and Jay Hebert Studios. That will all be going up on Throwback Thursdays. Go and give that a shout out if you could. Is this a recent plug? Because it was thrown in here.
This is happening this Saturday. Heroes and Legends 20 at the Smoky Mountain Convention Center on Parkway in Pigeon Forge. 12 noon. Matches begin at 7 o'clock. Dori Lou and I will be there for all the festivities, along with Jason Hurricane Maples, who is the local wrestling promoter out here. He also does shows in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's where the 21st show is going to be. Of course, I'm really excited. I cannot wait for Mickey Midas to take on Enzo Amore, the former Enzo Amore. The Greek flag is coming out because Mickey Midas is Greek. I promised I would take the flag. He could come out with it. I've been messaging him all month. I'm like, beat Enzo down. He deserves it. I cannot wait.
And one of the special vendor guests, this is a throwback, Coco Beware.
There you go. The Birdman, baby.
The Birdman is going to be there. Very excited.
The original Birdman before.
Yes. And apparently Frankie is still the same Frankie. It's still the same bird.
They live for a very long time when they're properly cared for.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, go ahead, Dori.
What's the wolf program again?
I can't remember them, but they will be back.
I want to say it's Wild Fell Wolves, but I'm not sure completely.
I believe so.
But
in the intro of our show, you see Dori Lou with an owl. We met them because Dori Lou loves owls, and they will be back. I believe, was it $85 for a picture with both animals?
I think so.
It's worth it. It may sound like a lot of money, but believe me, it's worth it.
So you can check all that information out on Facebook on Heroes and Legends.
I will say to you, Stat Boy, as much as you don't like Enzo Amore, I think he will take you by surprise in this match. That's all I will say.
It's not that I don't. I mean, I didn't like the way that he left WWE and a few of his antics post WWE. When you meet Eric, then you're like, okay, it all comes together. Yeah. He does a great job doing the character from the person. So he wants a Triple H, a hug, a handshake, and a how you doing. So I'll give him that, and maybe I'll give him $20 for a picture. But as soon as he steps in that ring, Mickey Midas has taken over, Greek style. I promise.
Sadly, though, our good friend Sam Knight will not be joining us for this particular event. So we hope everything is doing well with what he's got going on, and look forward to seeing him at another event.
There you go. We have the Warzone, the weekly acquisition report, which you can catch on Sundays, 3:00 p.m. Pacific time. So go check that out when you can. That should be interesting. I'm not sure what he has planned. He didn't have to let me know before I came on the air, but I guess we got mystery, so you can go check it out. They do it because it's his birthday. Maybe it's a birthday collection. Who knows? There's also this, if you could...
the SBs. These are going to be our version of the ESPYs. Probably we'll throw out nominees after the FedEx Cup gets awarded, because that will end the golf season for the men after, or maybe even after they play for the Ryder Cup. That's when we can probably do the first official nomination for the ESPY Awards.
Yes, we invite any of our viewers to send us message us on any of our socials and let us know as we go through the seasons of our various sports who you think should be nominated.
There you go.
Indeed.
We also have these fantasy football real quick.
Yes, I should have sent the updated one. Dori Lou has named her team the Tennessee Volunteers.
No, I did not.
The Tennessee Vikings, excuse me.
There you go. The Tennessee Vikings. And I will admit, I stole that from an article on how many former Vols are playing in Minnesota.
There you go.
That's where the Tennessee came in, and they are the Tennessee Vikings.
There you go.
All right.
One more quick plug to a happy birthday boy. Go check out Renegade's reviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Casa D-18 Studios. Over on the Greg Cherry brand, you could check out every Wednesday, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:00 Pacific. You can check out the happenings going on over there. Tell Greg Cherry we all said hi. Congrats on the first payout for the recent UK karaoke. Speaking of which, if you have not done so already, as we mentioned at the top of the program, you guys absolutely should go back and watch the open mic and karaoke night. We had topics planned. We didn't get to hardly any of them because there were so many super chats, over $400 worth in super chats. Thank you all so much. You guys are the reason we do what we do.
And we had a blast.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely did have a blast. And speaking of having a blast, you can check out Noah Foster, JJ Williams, and Jeff Meacham checking out Multiverse United 2. I was supposed to be on this watch along and call it with Noah. Unfortunately, schedules did not align. But you could go and give him some support and check that out on demand right now, right here on the Casa and on all Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse Media affiliates. You can also check out NXT Heatwave tonight, as we said earlier, 8 o'clock p.m., 5 o'clock Pacific. You can check out all the watch-alongs and all Jeff Meacham Network's schedule. This is what's coming up right now. We already have top 10 actors and actresses. That's up there. We have Greg Cherry Show, as mentioned before, Talk Wrestling Thursday, this Thursday coming up at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know how old this is. It doesn't look like it's too old, but we'll see. You can also check out All in London, Watch Along, Emergence, also on August 27th. Going to be a double feature Watch Along event. That's going to be a fun one. And you can also check out everything going across the multiverse. That's everything that you can see coming up this week and more. You can also check out, let's see here. Dad's going to be next Friday, which is August 25th. So this Friday, actually, coming up. So in 3 days, top 10 actors and actresses we lost too soon. That's going to be a very interesting one on the Casa and Jeff Meacham Network. You can also check out the Meacham Mania shirt. I just saw that it was there.
I think that's for the upcoming thing with the Garcia twins.
Yes.
Well, there you go. He's going to be wearing that for the Nikki and Bree show. The Garcia twins, he's going to be meeting up with them. And because Jeff Meacham reached his goal across all three monetized platforms, pretty much crushed the damn goal, he will be trying to make amends with Mr. John Laurinaitis, People Power. So go check that out while you guys can. That's going to be an interesting one. There will be video of this as well. That will be showing across Dads and I believe Open Mic Night. So be on the lookout for that as well. And yeah, we also have a couple things that I just want to plug on my end since I actually produced this time.
Yes, you did a great job, by the way.
Yes, thank you again so much, James.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're more than welcome to come back into the sports bar anytime you want and throw out blurbs and quips and anything else and challenge Zach to a football duel for all I care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He'd probably absolutely roast me on that when it comes to that. But we have a few other plugs that I wanted to kind of get into. First off, Multiverse Media plugs. There's everybody. Screen cap this and make sure you follow everybody because everybody deserves a little bit of a follow there. There is some retro calls on the members only section of the Casa D-18 Studios. SummerSlam 88, SummerSlam 98, and SummerSlam 08 are all up on the members only section as of right now. He also has the Destruction of the Shield DVD that absolutely has gone up as of right now. It looks like from the looks of this, Benoit and Orton is winning in the polls. And we do have picks on the members only section for Noah's picks, James's picks, which is me, Jeff's picks, and the Renegade's picks. So go and vote right now on all of those when you join the members only section. As we said earlier, All in London. There's another graphic for that. And Emergence. We got two separate graphics there. And again, make sure you check out Heatwave, NXT Heatwave. Saw that again. But I have to do it. This is JJ's NXT. We have to put that out there. It's not Noah's NXT, and it damn sure ain't mine. You guys can also check out Rangers of Wrestling, our newest Jeff Meacham Network affiliate. She is doing a Power Month So go give her some love as well. And you can also check out her Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Collision reviews and recaps on the Rangers of Wrestling channel. Make sure you tune in to No DQ for the episode 250, where they cover Payback and All in London, along with Super Chats. I'm sure that will be a huge milestone show. You guys can check out the No DQ recaps for Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 11:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Raw, and 10:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wednesday and Fridays for Dynamite and SmackDown. We have Jack of All Trades. This was not into production, so it's a good thing I actually went here to the other scene selection here. Go check out Jack of All Trades, also on the Greg Cherry brand. He will be on there as well as Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful, from what I understand. So go check that out when you can. We have NoDQ.com's All-In Predictions panel going up on Thursday, August 24th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. We also have Payback Predictions, which is going to be Tuesday, August 29th, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific. So go check that out there. You can always check out the No DQ review. Apparently, there was a big debate between Mr. Tito, JJ, and I forget what his name is. I think his name's Mo. Something happened there. JJ sent it to us earlier.
Yeah.
Definitely go check that out. As far as my stuff, and this is where we get to my stuff now, watch parties are a go on my channel. You can check out All in London Go Home Week. Dynamite and Collision watch parties are a go. We will be hosting those on my Discord server. So if you want to come in and enjoy the festivities with us, shoot me a DM and I'll definitely put you in as part of the watch party. And there will also be a coverage of All In itself after the Jeff Beecham Network watch along. So the day after, we will be airing the watch party. That will be hosted by Casey Gallagher and Zero on their end. So go check that out, as well as All Out Go Home Week. We will be doing Dynamite and Collision, as well as the pay-per-view coverage for that as well. You can check out on my channel right now, Indie Force episode 27, which covered a hodgepodge of stuff, including a huge update on Weymouth Youth Wrestling. And you can also check out my latest Jay Hebert Side of Things, episode 5, where I cover a whole bunch of topics there. As far as Noah stuff, real quick shout out to Amara Jade. Shout out, of course, to the entire ATW family. You can check her out at AmaraJade_ on Instagram. And she will be at Wood Green Wrestling. So go check her out. Tell her the Stat Boy Sports Bar crew send you some love there. You can follow Noah Foster on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at nfoster1916. For all things wrestling, shout out, of course, to everybody that is all things wrestling. You can check out his community tab for everything coming up as far as prediction panels go. Speaking of simply predicting, this is everything coming up. This guy has no sleep. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing it. And he also has a Simply Predicting coming up for All in London and Impact Emergence. So he is not going to have sleep. I don't know how he plans on doing any of this stuff, but he's definitely going to give it the old college try. And finally, last but certainly not least, the man who's on the marquee. You can find him on youtube.com at Jeff Meacham Network, facebook.com at Jeff Meacham Network, Instagram _Jeff Meacham, and threads _Jeff Meacham. And you can check out all official merchandise available on Teespring and ProWrestlingTees.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for getting through this episode. We're going to do it again next week, currently at our normal time, unless things change. Who knows? If it does, we'll all get through it together. For the Stat Girl, for me, for everybody, for James, thank you so much. Again, JJ, I love you. Happy birthday. I love you all. Until next week, Stat Boy out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence, and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.